Where is Sarah Ferguson now, do you know? Because I've read reports that she's in the United Arab Emirates and broke. I've also read reports that she spent a month at a luxury Swiss resort that cost $25,000 a day.
So, here's something that has royal watchers talking again. Sarah Ferguson has finally spoken publicly about Princess Diana, and her reported remarks have sparked fresh debate across royal circles. Given the close bond the two women once shared, many people are wondering what prompted this unexpected moment and why it has attracted so much attention. But was it a heartfelt reflection, a difficult truth, or something far more controversial? Let's take a closer look at what was said, why it matters, and why the reaction has been so strong. But before that, why did it take Sarah so long to break her silence on Diana? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. Sarah finally breaks silence. So, here's where things took an emotional turn. Nearly 3 decades after Princess Diana's tragic passing, Sarah Ferguson surprised royal watchers with a heartfelt message that reminded everyone just how deep their friendship once was. On what would have been Diana's 63rd birthday in July 2024, the Duchess of York chose not to speak about royal drama or old controversies. Instead, she shared a touching tribute that focused entirely on the woman she had loved as a friend. Alongside her message, Sarah posted a beautiful throwback photograph showing herself and Diana standing together on the balcony of Buckingham Palace during the 1990 Battle of Britain anniversary celebrations. The image captured a happier time, when the two women stood side by side, smiling as members of the royal family. For many royal fans, the photo instantly brought back memories of an era that now feels like a distant chapter in history. But it was Sarah's words that truly touched people's hearts. She described Diana as a pillar of light and love, saying that her kindness and compassion had left a lasting mark on everyone fortunate enough to know her. Sarah reflected on the laughter they had shared over the years and spoke warmly about Diana's gentle nature, calling her a kindred kind spirit. She even expressed her belief that Diana continues to watch over the people she cared about, ending her tribute with the simple but deeply emotional words, "Rest in peace, my friend." What made the message even more meaningful was the remarkable history the two women shared. Long before they became famous, Sarah and Diana had known each other from childhood. As young royal wives during the 1980s, they leaned on one another while trying to adjust to the enormous pressure and constant public attention that came with life inside the monarchy. Although Sarah Ferguson and Princess Diana reportedly experienced a painful falling out during Diana's final year, Sarah has consistently chosen to focus on the happy memories they shared rather than their differences. She has often spoken warmly of Diana, saying the late princess never realized how remarkable she truly was and recalling that no one made her laugh like Diana could. Her heartfelt 2024 tribute reflected that enduring affection, celebrating Diana's kindness, warmth, and lasting influence. It showed that genuine friendships can outlive misunderstandings, proving that cherished memories often remain stronger than the disagreements that once threatened to overshadow them. So, what kind of relationship did Sarah share with Diana? Did it precede their royal lives? When did it all start? Let's find out. The friendship before royal fame. Alright, so here's something that surprises a lot of people. Long before Sarah Ferguson and Princess Diana became two of the most famous women in the royal family, they were already incredibly close friends. In fact, their story didn't begin inside palace walls at all. It started years earlier when they were simply two young women from aristocratic families who found comfort, laughter, and understanding in each other's company. Few people realized that they were actually fourth cousins, connected through the historic Cavendish family, while their mothers had also known each other since their school days. It almost seemed as though fate had quietly been bringing their families together, long before royalty entered the picture. Everything changed in 1980. Diana was just 19 years old, while Sarah was 21. And after reconnecting through mutual friends and the same social circles, they quickly became inseparable. They met for regular lunches, laughed over everyday problems, and discovered they shared many of the same interests and outlook on life. Before either of them had to worry about royal traditions, endless headlines, or public expectations, they simply enjoyed being around each other. Their friendship felt natural, effortless, and genuine, creating a bond that would soon become more important than either of them could have imagined. Then, Diana's relationship with Prince Charles began to grow more serious, and Sarah naturally became one of the people she trusted most. As excitement surrounding the royal romance spread across Britain, Diana leaned on Sarah for advice, reassurance, and emotional support. She even invited Sarah to attend her spectacular 1981 royal wedding and thoughtfully gave her fabrics so she could have a special dress made for the unforgettable occasion. Although Sarah later admitted she felt hurt that she wasn't invited to the private reception after the ceremony, she never allowed that disappointment to damage their friendship. Instead, she continued standing firmly by Diana's side. Life inside the royal family proved far more difficult than Diana had expected, and during those lonely early months, Sarah became one of her greatest sources of comfort. She regularly visited Diana at Buckingham Palace, offering encouragement whenever the pressures of royal life became overwhelming. Away from the cameras, the two friends shared honest conversations, private jokes, and moments of relief that few others could truly understand. Years later, Sarah Ferguson described Princess Diana as more than a close friend, saying she felt like a younger sister whom she naturally wanted to protect. Their bond was built on trust, loyalty, and genuine affection. Diana also played an important role in Sarah's royal journey by introducing her more deeply into royal circles and encouraging her growing relationship with Prince Andrew long before it became public. Looking back, their extraordinary friendship had surprisingly humble beginnings. It started with ordinary lunches, shared laughter, and two young women who never imagined they would one day become central figures in royal history. But at what point was Sarah ushered into the royal family? What role did Diana play in the whole scenario? Stay tuned. The Untold Beginning of Fergie. So, here's something many royal fans still find surprising. Long before Sarah Ferguson became the Duchess of York, there was one person quietly shaping her path into the royal family, and that person was Princess Diana. Most people remember Diana and Sarah as sisters-in-law, but their connection began years earlier and was far deeper than many realize. The two women were actually distant cousins and had known each other since childhood, but it wasn't until 1980 that they truly reconnected. Almost instantly, they clicked. They were close in age, shared many of the same interests, and moved in similar social circles. As Diana adjusted to the overwhelming pressures of royal life, she found comfort in Sarah's company. The pair often met for long lunches, laughing, sharing stories, and talking about the challenges that came with life around the monarchy. Before long, they had become each other's closest friends. Then Diana had an idea that would change Sarah's life forever. At the time, Sarah was still single, and Diana believed she would be a wonderful match for Prince Andrew. Rather than simply hoping the two would get together, Diana reportedly decided to give fate a helping hand. She encouraged Sarah to attend one of Queen Elizabeth II's famous dine and sleep weekends at Windsor Castle during Royal Ascot in 1985. It turned out to be the perfect opportunity. Sarah and Andrew were seated together, giving them the chance to reconnect after knowing each other as children. What started as friendly conversations soon grew into something much deeper. Diana didn't stop there. As their relationship blossomed, she reportedly invited Sarah and Andrew to spend time together at Highgrove, the country home she shared with Prince Charles. Those relaxed visits allowed the couple to get to know each other away from the public eye, long before news of their romance reached the newspapers. Looking back, it's difficult not to wonder whether their love story would have unfolded the same way, without Diana quietly bringing them together. But introducing Sarah to Andrew was only part of Diana's role. When Sarah Ferguson entered royal life, she was overwhelmed by the intense media attention and constant public scrutiny. Princess Diana quickly became her guide, offering emotional support, lending her stylish clothes, accompanying her to royal engagements, and teaching her how to handle photographers with confidence. Diana's simple advice, "Just keep smiling," became a comforting reminder during Sarah's most challenging moments. As time passed, their relationship grew far beyond royal obligations into a deep and genuine friendship. Sarah later revealed that she felt protective of Diana like a younger sister, while Diana leaned on Sarah's loyalty and kindness during some of her loneliest years. More than simply welcoming Sarah into the royal family, Diana helped her find confidence and a sense of belonging. Did Diana and Sarah share a cordial relationship as royal in-laws? How did they relate within the royal palace? Stay glued. The friendship before royal heartbreak. Now, this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Before Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson became known for their heartbreaking fallout, they were actually two of the closest women in the entire royal family. In fact, their friendship began long before royal titles, palace walls, or worldwide fame ever entered the picture. As distant cousins whose families already knew each other, the two women reconnected in 1980, and it didn't take long before they became almost inseparable. They regularly met for lunch, shared the same circle of friends, laughed over everyday moments, and trusted each other with their deepest thoughts as both of their lives were about to change forever. When Diana married Prince Charles in 1981 and officially became Princess of Wales, their friendship only grew stronger. Even as Diana struggled to adjust to the strict rules and constant pressure of royal life, she always found time for Sarah. Sarah often visited her at Buckingham Palace, offering comfort and encouragement whenever Diana felt lonely or overwhelmed. But Diana didn't just support Sarah emotionally. She also played a major role in changing her future. She reportedly encouraged Sarah to attend a royal gathering at Windsor, where Sarah reconnected with Prince Andrew. That meeting reignited their romance, and Diana happily cheered them on, inviting the couple to Highgrove and helping Sarah feel more relaxed as she slowly stepped into the intimidating world of the monarchy. By the time Sarah and Prince Andrew prepared to marry in 1986, Diana had naturally become her guide through royal life. She shared dresses with Sarah, offered practical advice on royal etiquette, and helped her prepare for the endless public appearances that came with marrying into the family. Whenever Sarah felt nervous about facing crowds of photographers or making a mistake in front of the cameras, Diana had one simple piece of advice that Sarah would never forget. Just keep smiling. Those few words became a source of confidence during some of Sarah's most stressful moments. After becoming sisters-in-law, Sarah Ferguson and Princess Diana grew even closer, earning a reputation as the royal family's fun-loving duo. They shared laughter, played harmless jokes, and brightened formal royal events with their playful personalities. Behind their cheerful public image, however, both were privately facing serious struggles in their marriages. As royal life became increasingly difficult, they relied heavily on one another for comfort and understanding. Long phone calls allowed them to share their worries, disappointments, and hopes with someone who truly understood their unique challenges. Reflecting years later, Sarah described Diana as much more than a close friend. She felt deeply protective of her, like an older sister, cherishing a bond built on trust, loyalty, and genuine understanding. At what point did Sarah and Diana's relationship turn sour? What could have been responsible for the fractured relationship? Were they able to fix their relationship before Diana's death? Stay with us. Diana's unfinished friendship with Sarah. So, here's one of the saddest chapters in royal history, and it's not about a public scandal or a palace dispute. It's about two women who were once almost inseparable, but somehow drifted apart just before tragedy struck. Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson, better known as Fergie, weren't simply connected through marriage. Long before they became members of the royal family, they were genuine friends who laughed together, supported one another, and shared experiences that few other people could truly understand. That close friendship, however, slowly began to unravel during the final years of Diana's life. Exactly what caused the distance between them remains one of the monarchy's enduring mysteries. What makes the story even more heartbreaking is that neither woman ever had the chance to fully explain what happened or put things right. Sarah later revealed that she and Diana had not spoken for almost a year before the princess tragically died in 1997. Looking back, she admitted that she never completely understood why their relationship had fallen apart. According to Sarah, Diana was someone who loved deeply, but she could also be deeply hurt. Once something upset her, it could be incredibly difficult to heal the emotional wound, even for someone as close as Sarah. Still, Sarah refused to give up hope. She said she wrote letters, hoping Diana would eventually forgive her and that their friendship would return to what it had once been. She genuinely believed the disagreement was only temporary and that, sooner or later, they would sit down together, laugh about the misunderstanding, and move forward. Then came a revelation that made the story even more emotional. Sarah disclosed that just one day before Diana's fatal car crash in Paris, a mutual friend reportedly told her that Diana wanted to speak with her again. After months of silence, it seemed the princess was finally ready to reconnect. Sadly, fate had other plans. That the long-awaited conversation never happened, leaving Sarah with a lifetime of unanswered questions and painful regret. Royal experts have offered several explanations for the breakdown of Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson's friendship. One widely cited theory is that Diana felt embarrassed by a humorous anecdote in Sarah's 1996 memoir, My Story, about borrowing her shoes and developing plantar warts. Others believe Diana had become increasingly protective of her privacy and trust. Despite the estrangement, Sarah always spoke affectionately of Diana, describing her as kind, funny, and caring. She consistently denied they were true rivals and said her greatest regret was that they never had the chance to reconcile before Diana's tragic death. Now, what did others say about the rift in the relationship shared between Sarah and Diana? Were there other possible causes of the fractures observed? Keep watching. The betrayal Diana never forgave. So, for years, most people believed they already knew what destroyed the close friendship between Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson. The story that spread around the world was almost unbelievable. It centered on a humorous remark Sarah made about borrowing Diana's shoes and later developing plantar warts. The media turned it into a sensation, and many assumed that awkward joke was what drove the two women apart. But according to Princess Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, that popular story missed the real reason entirely. Here's what he claimed actually happened. Before Sarah published her 1996 autobiography, My Story, Diana reportedly reached out with one deeply personal request. She wasn't asking for money, favors, or public support. She simply wanted one promise. According to Burrell, Diana asked Sarah not to include any references to her or to her young sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, in the book. It was a heartfelt request from one friend to another, and Burrell said Sarah agreed without hesitation. Diana believed her privacy, and more importantly, the privacy of her children would be respected. But everything changed the moment the book hit the shelves. As Diana read through the memoir, she reportedly found not just one or two passing mentions, but several references to herself and to William and Harry. To many readers, those passages may have seemed harmless. To Diana, however, they represented something far more painful. According to Burrell, this wasn't about what had been written. It was about a promise she believed had been broken. She felt she had trusted one of her closest friends, only to discover that trust had not been honored. Now, this is where things became truly heartbreaking. Burrell insisted the friendship didn't collapse because of a funny comment about borrowed shoes. That story may have dominated newspaper headlines, but he believed it distracted people from the deeper issue. Diana reportedly felt exposed and betrayed by someone she had welcomed into her inner circle. In Burrell's view, she wasn't angry because of embarrassment. She was devastated because she believed her confidence had been violated, and that was something she found almost impossible to forgive. From that moment on, everything changed. The two women, who had once leaned on each other through the pressures of royal life, reportedly stopped speaking altogether. They had shared laughter, tears, and the unique experience of feeling like outsiders within the royal family. Yet all of that seemed to disappear after the memoir was published. Burrell recalled that Diana felt used and made the painful decision to cut off contact completely. Sadly, that silence was never broken. Diana's tragic death in August 1997 ended any chance of reconciliation. Sarah later spoke openly about her deep regret that they never had the opportunity to repair their friendship. But according to Burrell, Diana carried that sense of betrayal until the very end. In his view, the friendship wasn't destroyed by a careless joke that made headlines. It ended because Diana believed the trust at the heart of their relationship had been broken. And once that trust was gone, there was no way back. But did Sarah later extend the cordial relationship to Diana's sons? What did she say about them and their families? What did she think Diana would feel about them if she were alive today? Let's find out. Sarah reveals Diana's greatest pride. Alright, so here's something that has touched a lot of royal watchers over the years. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, once shared what she believes would have been Princess Diana's greatest source of happiness if she were alive today. And interestingly, it wasn't about crowns, royal status, or public praise. Sarah believes Diana would simply have been incredibly proud of the men her two sons had grown into and the families they had created. Having known Diana since they were teenagers, Sarah says she often finds herself wondering what her dear friend would think if she could see Prince William and Prince Harry today. In Sarah's eyes, Diana would have looked past the headlines, the public attention, and even the pressures of royal life. Instead, she would have focused on the people her sons had become. Watching William and Harry grow into fathers, husbands, and caring men, Sarah believes, would have filled Diana with overwhelming pride and joy. But Sarah's thoughts didn't stop there. She also spoke warmly about the women who married Diana's sons. According to her, Diana would have welcomed both Catherine and Meghan with open arms. Rather than comparing them or choosing favorites, Sarah said Diana would have admired the fact that each woman brought her own personality, strengths, and perspective into the royal family. She described both Catherine and Meghan as wonderful wives, suggesting that Diana would have appreciated their individuality and been delighted to see the happiness they brought to William and Harry. Then comes what Sarah believes would have been Diana's favorite role of all, being a grandmother. Sarah smiled as she reflected on how much Diana adored children during her lifetime. In fact, she said Diana would have been completely obsessed with her grandchildren, much like Sarah says she is with her own. She imagined Diana spending precious moments with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, Archie, and Lilibet, surrounding them with affection, laughter, and endless love. To Sarah, those family moments would have meant far more to Diana than any royal ceremony or public appearance. Looking back, Sarah also became emotional as she reflected on the friendship she shared with Diana. The two women had been close since their teenage years, long before either entered the royal family. Sarah remembered Diana as remarkably brave, deeply compassionate, and blessed with a wonderful sense of humor. She also credited Diana with teaching her valuable lessons about handling life under constant public attention. Those memories have stayed with her for decades and continue to shape how she remembers her friend. Although Sarah acknowledged the well-known tensions between Prince William and Prince Harry, she chose not to focus on the family's painful divisions. Instead, she believes Diana would have looked beyond the disagreements, celebrating the loving families her sons built, embracing both of their wives, and cherishing every possible moment with the grandchildren she never had the chance to meet. So, what do you think about Diana's relationship with Sarah? Do you really think Diana could have forgiven her before her death? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.